Hey guys, it's probably been about 6 months since I've had this Mastercraft Maximum tool chest or tool cart that it's called. I've been using it in my home garage here for about 6-7 months now, and kind of gotten the cart set up to the way I like it. Seems to be the best organized that I can set it up for now, for the amount of work that I do. Overall, this cart's been really good for me. I find it useful to be able to pull the tools that I need around the garage when I'm working with it, and so I'm not running around the vehicle trying to find what I'm looking for and then find out I have the wrong size. So it's nice to have everything all in one spot ready to go. Just going top to bottom. With these gear wrenches, I decided to put them up on top of the cart because I find I use them the most. What I did was I went to Princess Auto and picked up these magnetic hooks. So not drilling anything through the top lid here, but just a simple magnet hook. Holds them all really nicely. I like to have them really available. Those are all the gear wrenches, but down below in one of my drawers, I do have the box ends that don't ratchet, so they work really good there. These socket trays, I actually picked them up at Princess Auto when they went on sale here. I picked up enough that I can store all of my sockets, well, minus those few in the corner there. I actually just got these impact sockets for Christmas, so I had to make a little room and rejig a couple things, but layout is really nice, makes everything really easy, accessible to grab. Down the sides here, I got these screwdrivers, main sizes. You won't see many Robertsons on a car, but still use them from time to time. In the back, it's kind of nice. They're pass-through holes, so you can put a pickle fork in there. So really nice long extension, and as well as the space to go even deeper down if you need to. On the side, I got some of the more commonly used fluids or greases that I like to keep accessible for working. This cart's been really good so far for what it is. I picked it up on sale when it was $300, regular $600, but it's just been a treat working with it here. A few modifications that I've done is I actually removed the struts. Reason being is that working in a home garage, I never have to lock up my tool cart from myself. So if the garage is locked, I don't have to worry about anything else going missing. So what I did was actually remove the struts. So I didn't remove the strut locations. So you can see they're still there. If I want to put the struts back, I just stored them in a drawer. But what I did to keep this vertical was that I just took a piece of angle material there, and I clamped it down at the bottom, and I clamped it at the top, so it actually holds it in place. I don't have to worry about this lid closing on me. I've never closed it once. Another modification that I did to this was that I actually added on a hook to the side. So this is just the over the door type of hook that you'd use for your closet. It kind of adds space for me to hang some of my larger wrenches. So say like this 1.1 ratcheting wrench, I don't use it often, but there are times that I do need it, and I just want it to be accessible, so I just have it hanging on the side, and when I don't need it, it's out of the way as well. I keep my hearing protection here. I keep a headlamp readily accessible. You can see in the back behind here, you can see the longer breaker bars. They pass through the top here, so I have just a simple non-ratcheting breaker bar, and then I also have just a 24-inch ratcheting breaker bar. That's a nice one to use, especially when you're dealing with tough bolts that don't want to break loose. Long pry bar, as well as a shorter one, a couple screwdrivers. Nice to have. Obviously, magnetic trays, you can never have enough of those, especially when I'm doing a brake job. If I do all 4 brakes or anything like that, I want to take a nut and bolt off, I put it right at the wheel, so I don't have to worry about putting a tray down on anywhere and losing it. Real easy to store in here. The finish on this tool cart has been great. You can see there's a bit of dirt, but it rubs right off. You can't even. I've yet to scratch this thing anywhere significantly enough to deem it a damageable finish. It's a wrinkled finish and seems to be really good so far. Just going through the rest of the cart here. These drawers, they're good. They come with a pad in them already. Going through some of the other drawers here. They come with a pad in them already, so they got a rubber matting in there already. The one thing I guess I'd say that I don't like about these drawers the most is that they don't come out full extension. So they're probably about 80%, 85% open. You can see this tray, if I really wanted to, I can pull it out if I need to, but it still has some depth in there that is not accessible. So that's the same on all the drawers. But in there, like, I keep hammers, my brass hammer, my rubber mallets, everything in there. In the top drawer here, I made actually a what do you call this? It used to be a shelving rack that I've bent into the form so it actually holds all of my pliers nicely. Keep it organized. I can see exactly what I'm working with, what I'm looking for. Got my hammer, my tin snips in there, the long extension, or the long handled pliers. I keep my smaller ones in here. A few of them are out and about right now around the house, so there's usually a few more in there. Keep my gloves handy. Really like those mechanics gloves. In this drawer here, this is kind of my odds and ends, but still organized. So I got all my extensions, the torque limiting bar that I use quite often when I'm putting lugs back on. I have my metric wrenches. So these are, like I said before, I keep the non-ratcheting ones in the drawer. They're not as readily available because sometimes I got to search through, find the one size that I'm looking for, but they're there. I got the imperial sizes. I got my odd sockets, even my e-torques in there. My ratcheting wrenches. This was a new one that I just got for Christmas here. It's the extension. So I haven't tried that yet, but we'll see how it is. Been looking for one of those for a bit, so Christmas came and it was good. Down below, actually, then also it's long enough to keep a 1/2 inch torque wrench in there, so that's handy. Bottom drawer, this is a little deeper one here, which is nice, so I can stack a couple things on top. A few things that I keep in here, just the adjustable wrenches. Once again, a couple odd sockets. My pry tools, so for body panels, you got those. You got small picks here and there. And then I got my TPMS tool. That's the reset tool. If you need to do reset any of the sensors or retrain them, you can diagnose them if they're bad battery or low battery, things like that. Just a El Cheapo scan tool. Hey, if it's cheap and it works, it's not a bad tool. My trim removal pieces, so when I'm doing interior trim and doing some new wires going through this is a good set. I got my air impact. This one will probably be going away since I got a new one. I'll show you at the top here. Some dielectric grease. These are some punch sets, brass punch sets for doing bearings. 3/8. This is a 3/8 torque wrench. Good to have when you're doing some more detailed engine work that needs a little more specific torque rating on those smaller bolts that your 1/2-inch guy can't do. And then down below, I just have my oil change or oil drainage container, anti-seize, some grease there, and a, what do you call it, a torch for heating up bolts if I need to. And then the very seldomly used jack stands. I don't use those too often, but they fit there, and got them up off the floor. One of the big things that I really do like about this cart are these wheels. What you can see is that they have a lock on both sides, so it's pivoting on only one side. It'd be nice if it pivoted on both ends, but not a big deal. I seem to be working all right with that. But the one thing that you'll notice with these wheels is that they pivot, but the minute that you lock the wheels, unlike my Craftsman tool chest that I have, once you lock these wheels, they don't turn. They lock the rotation of the wheel and the pivoting motion. See, they lock both pivoting and rotation of the wheel, so it's really nice. And once it's locked in place, it's locked. It's not going anywhere. Quite often I end up only just locking the front wheel, and it can hold the cart in one place, no problem. The one other thing that I kind of wish that this cart had was a little shelf space, but similar to the Harbor Freight one that you see all the time in the States, myself being in Canada, I don't have the access to that, is that there's a tray that you can purchase, not specifically for this cart, but for this type of cart, is that you can get it bolted on to the one side here, and then it's a fold-away tray that would be nice to have for when you're taking a vehicle apart or any sort of job, and then you can sit your parts down on the side, because I don't like to sit down any parts on top of my tools, because then I can't get to the tools. So this was one thing that I'll hopefully be changing in the future. One of the new tools I got for Christmas as well, this 1/2-inch impact drive from Rigid. This is the new 3 setting, so it's got the automatic 1, 2, and 3. Haven't used it too much, but I've used it to change a few tires here and there, and it has no problem breaking free any lug nuts on the tires. So once I get a little more use out of that, I might do a bit of a review on that guy. So looking forward to using it. But yeah, this cart's been great for me. Just the home hobby mechanic. I don't do anything commercially. It's just purely home use and friends and family, and it's what I enjoy doing. So really happy with this cart. Hopefully you guys get some benefit from this video, and you can decide to pick it up yourself. In no way do I promote the Canadian Tire brands, but I enjoy using it for the price that it is. So have a good one, guys.